solo version of the high level release radar, where we, of course, recap all of the greatest and latest features that we dropped this week. The teams have been ramping up. There's a lot of stuff flowing through our release notes channel. So I've carefully collated and organized, stapled, and copied all of these releases and put them into this tidy presentation for you. So we're going to hop on into it. But if you could drop a little tag here, let me know where you're joining in from. And of course, if you get excited about a particular release, go ahead and drop it into the comments too. We get extra bonus points and brownie points that do not matter, but we like them anyway for doing so. With that, let us hop right into it. Where are we here? Here we go. Cool. All right. So first of all, we have got a pretty cool little enhancement here. And this is for workflows for the bulk operations in the list page. So what's neat about this one is that you can select all workflows. You can select all folders, all published workflows, and so forth. And then you can take bulk actions on those. So you can manage their permissions, you can move them, you can delete them. Not sure why you'd want to delete too many at once, but be careful there. Of course, there'll be a confirmation screen when you see it. And with that, we will move on to the next release, which is an improved undo redo system for the page builder. This is something that is near and dear to my heart because I make lots of mistakes when building funnels and websites. And what's cool about this is there's a couple neat little tricks that they've implemented here. One is that it's going to catch every single little thing that you do. It's also a lot faster. I tested this out. I can confirm it's way better. So we have comprehensive change tracking. Now captures changes not only made to the main page, but also within pop-ups. And then we've also got this really cool smart pop-up visibility. So let's say you made a change in a pop-up and then you went back and you're like, oh, you went back to the builder, you got out of the pop-up. Now, when you go through that undo sequence, it's going to pop open or pop up the pop-up and then show you the changes as they are being undone or redone, whatever you've clicked there. So moving on, there's also a couple other performance optimizations. A lot of things are way faster there, better text editing experience as well. Go and check that one out. Next up, we've got communities has more control for private channels. So this one, I think, was more of once you made something private, you couldn't make it public again, something like that. Anyway, team fixed all that stuff. Way better experience with that. And then you can also move posts to private channels. That's the other key update here. So if you've been using communities and private channels, you now got more controls and it's working as expected. Moving on, let's see what we got. Conversation AI now supports multiple LLMs for prompt-based bots. So we had this, I believe it's for the form-based bot, where you just kind of go through the form and you can kind of organize everything in blocks. So that's sort of like what I call the easy builder. The prompt-based bots are a little bit more advanced. If you're really good at prompting or you want ultimate control, that's kind of the direction that you'd go. And now we've got multiple LLMs to choose from. So we've got GPT-5, 5 Mini, 4.1 Mini, along with 4.1. Be on the lookout for 5.1 here pretty soon. There'll be another update about 5.1 if you are in the know. That is the latest and greatest improvement that OpenAI dropped. And of course, we integrate with them very tightly. So this will continue to expand as well. All right, featured product elements for e-com stores. This one's really neat. So you can take this specific element, you can put it anywhere in an e-com site on any page, and you can highlight a specific product. So let's say you're trying to push something like a sale or something, you can put that element in there. Maybe put it into a cool section with some black background blurring or some sort of highlight to really kind of show something that is featured. So again, a lot of different ways you can use this. I just gave you a basic example there, but go ahead and check that one out. I think it provides a lot of good flexibility for the e-com builders out there. Let's see. We've got a couple people Checking in from Ohio. Hey, Ryan, connecting from Ohio. Where are you in Ohio? I have family in, I've got family in Columbus and the surrounding areas. Let's just call it that. Delaware. He says Delaware. I have been to Delaware. It's a great place. Really nice downtown area if you've ever been there. All righty. And we've got one more check-in here. Kia ora, good morning. Summer is joining. Yeah, you guys are heading into summer and we are heading into winter. That is how the tilt of the world works. Okay, moving on to more exciting things. Let's see what we've got next. Content AI now supports Blue Sky and Threads in the social planner. So if you didn't know, we now integrate with Blue Sky and Threads. So if you want to post socials there, you may now. And Content AI now works with that post as well. So rejoice if you're using Content AI to generate text, images, and so forth for your social posts in Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, all the places. All right, then we've got an update to the HighLevel University, wherein a new course has been added for attribution reporting. So this one's pretty cool as well. It's only a 10-minute guide, so less of a course, more of a guide, but it's a good refresher on attribution reporting. If you don't know what that is, or maybe you've been kind of implementing it, but you're not sure if you're doing it correctly, head on over to university.gohighlevel.com and check out this course/guide. They're going to go over UTM parameters, expectations, introductions, all those kinds of things. So great resource to have, and appreciate Haplin's work on organizing all this new content for specific areas within HighLevel to go just a little bit deeper. Next, we have conversations. Got some deep linking to workflow execution logs. Now, this one's really cool, and I believe this got brought up on a town hall, so I'll go ahead and plug town halls. If you have not showed up to a town hall, highly recommend it. We break them out for each topic or each product area. Go ahead and go to gohighlevel.com/town hall, and you'll see a calendar. You can join in there. But this got brought up in a specific instance where it's like, cool, we see this message got sent from a workflow where you can go into the to the conversation list, see the email, click on the details of that message, and you'll see, cool, this happened in a workflow. And before, what used to happen is it used to take you to that workflow, which is kind of good for diagnosing, okay, maybe this is an email I didn't know was going out. I want to know where it's being sent from, so you could see that. But now we actually take you into the specific contact ID in the execution logs for that, because it would, of course, be very relevant to know which contact and what happened there if you had a question about what was occurring. So props to the team for getting this deep linking done. Tested it out. It works great. Conversations got an update for clipboard attachments. So this is something near and dear to my heart, which is keyboard shortcuts, which I use all the time. If you use Slack, this is a very similar behavior. You know, you take a screenshot, you copy it to your clipboard, or you take an image from anywhere in the world, and you want to just paste it into a message. Before, it was kind of a pain. You'd have to like save it to the desktop, then upload it as an attachment and paste it, or I should say send it. Now that just happens dynamically. So copy, paste into the message, just like you would do in Slack if you're familiar. And if not, just trust me, it works great. Next up, we had a Google Analytics update where we are adding widgets to the dashboard and the custom reports. So if you didn't know, you can build custom dashboards right within HighLevel. You can also import those dashboards, if you get them kind of just so, into custom reports. Custom reports is really great for like executives that don't want to log into a system. You can just generate sort of a static page, or you can even print it out as a PDF to show people that don't want to view it online, let's say. But we now have Google Analytics widgets that are, there's a whole bunch of them in here. We got total users, active users, new users, sessions over time, engagement rate, bounce rate, all kinds of really fun GA4 stuff. If you're into that, you can now just pull them directly into dashboards. And just as a programming note, you do need to be, of course, integrated, or your Google account needs to be connected, and that's on a per user basis. And then you just select what property you want to pull that data in. So the team did a great job in implementing this. I think it makes a lot of sense. and rejoice for not having to get into that confusing GA4 dashboard that I battle with every single week. All right, then Media Core got an update. So Media Core is like kind of our engine. It's kind of like our 454 that's sitting under the hood for images and video. And so this gets used across the platform. Lots of different products use it. So it's kind of like an internal behind the scenes tool, but it got some really great performance upgrades. It's now 3 times faster for video loading it's between 2 and 3. I picked 3 because that's a better number. And then it's 2x faster for image loading. So the videos load a lot faster. The images load a lot faster. I think we went from 200 milliseconds to 100 milliseconds on the images. And then smart video playback. So this one's neat because just like, I don't know if you're on Twitter or X or whatever, or even Instagram, when you're kind of scrolling through, the videos will auto play. And then when you scroll past it, they'll pause, right? So that's the behavior that you're seeing here. And the other huge unlock here, I think this is something that Charles had pointed out. Thank you, Charles. And others have noted it as well. But the live streaming had a limitation on it. So you can now go live in communities, and you can do it in courses as well. But there was a limitation there, and it was really impeding, I would say, like a normal workflow when maybe you have an hour-long webinar and it was getting cut off. That has now been removed. The team says you could stream for days. Not sure you want to do that one, but regardless, that's now resolved, and this is working like a fine-tuned machine that it is. Moving on, we have got communities. Within communities, we can now manage comment settings for posts. So you can see here, this is a post that I'd already put up. You can change whether or not people can comment on it. And then on the little screenshot here to the right, you can see that when you're writing your post, you can decide whether or not you want to allow comments. I don't know, maybe you're going to say something controversial and you don't want people to oppose you. It's a good option, I guess. I'm all for it. All right, let's check in really quick here and see what else is going on. We've got a few people. Oh, we've got Dave, of course. David, thank you for checking in from Jacksonville. And we've also got somebody from Cincinnati area. Oh, yeah, I think I was asking you where you're from there, Cincinnati. I went to Xavier, so hopefully you see some Xavier basketball here soon. I don't know if they're any good this year, but have some Skyline for me. I miss that a lot. Let's see. Oh, we've got somebody checking in from Turkey. No, Turkish. Yeah, Turkey. That's right. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Thanks for checking in. Next up, we have got the app marketplace has new webhook logs. It's a new dashboard for webhook logs in the developer portal. So if you're a developer, you use webhooks a lot, you have a new nice dashboard for your webhook logs, which can be very helpful in troubleshooting and optimizing all of your integrations. Next, we have auto-created developer account from Sell on Marketplace. So what's cool about this is actually for the voice AI agent. So let's say you want to sell a voice AI agent on the marketplace. Before, there was kind of a disjointed experience if you didn't have an account. Now we have, as you can see in this screenshot, this nice little like create a quick account type thing. And then if you already have an account, it will know that and ask you to log in. So great experience there. Love to see a lot of this UX get cleaned up and more efficient. Next, we have the email builder got dynamic custom object labels in bulk emails. So if you didn't know, you can actually change the name of custom objects, obviously, and then there are other things that you can change that are standard objects. So an object you can kind of think of is like contacts, right? So contacts is an option contacts is a object. Within context, you would have records, and then deeper down, each record would have fields. So there are certain ones that you can rename, and this update is essentially just getting to parity so that when you rename things, it shows up properly when you're sending out bulk emails. and according to that. So you can kind of see the highlighted text there. That was a changed name, leads instead of contacts, let's say. And now that's more congruent throughout the system. WhatsApp got renamed objects reflecting in templates and workflows, or templates and WhatsApp flows. This is the same idea where when you rename an object, you want it to show up kind of everywhere the same way. So now that is happening. Calendar reminder variables are now available with WhatsApp template. So if you are using WhatsApp templates and you want calendar related variables that get brought in dynamically, that is now possible. So go ahead and check that out for all of you WhatsApp folks out there. Payments now has tipping support on the Orders API. So this is going to be more for the folks that are doing some backend programming using APIs. But if you're using the Orders API, you now have tipping support to pull some levers there. We also added Aiden payments support for within the payment system. Now, the scope on this is just for cards. So it's not for bank transfers and stuff like that, but it's pretty popular in the EU and North America. So if you have a need for Aiden, that is now available for you in the payment section, again, for cards only right now. Workflows, of course, the team is on it as always. And GPT 5.1 launched earlier this week, and we already have it as supported in the GPT action. So if you're using a GPT action, this is not for different AI products. Just to be really, really clear, this is only if you're in workflows using the GPT action. You now have access to that model. Of course, we'll expand this. We test this stuff routinely and thoroughly. So as it becomes more useful in other areas, we'll enable it. We don't just take everybody's word for it that it's going to be better because it's new. We want to test it out. And so each team kind of goes through that. They have a big regiment they go through. But we wanted to make this available for folks that kind of want the latest and greatest and do a lot of custom GPT action stuff in workflows. Workflows also got a dynamic header and hover preview. I love this kind of stuff because it's the nitty gritty. The big thing here is that when you're typing out a long label or title for your workflow, it's now dynamic and it scrolls with you and you don't lose track of what it's saying and so forth. And then if it's super long, you hover over it and it gives you the whole thing there so that you can easily read the title. Love to see this stuff. It's my favorite. All right. And then the phone system got a revamped Trust Center and A2P experience. So this is a pretty in-depth one. In fact, we have a video that should be done this week. One of our amazing content creators is on that one to kind of walk you through each step of it. But the idea here was to simplify and organize the flow when you're applying for A2P registration and you're getting your business all set up for campaigns and brand A2P verification. That it's a lot easier to understand and that you can kind of clearly see where you are in the process. You got little check marks on the left-hand side. Love a good check mark. Great. Let's see what's up next. We have got a bunch of enhancements. So this one, this slide's always something that it's kind of hard to show visually. So I just kind of took the easy way out and wrote it out. Chase will love this one. You should give a big shout out to Chase for this one. He's been pushing for it. 99%. It's actually more than 99% reduction in Redis and Mongo queries for workflow asset change worker. So this is one of our backend worker machines that does a lot of stuff with our databases. And now the queries for that have gotten way faster and better. WordPress has got a number of updates. We did a UI UX, kind of loop those things together. But we did some improvements across the dashboard, focused on smoother interactions and faster load times. So all in all, the dashboard for WordPress is a lot faster and smoother. And then we've done a number of things to help with the error handling and reliability of our lead connector migrator. So this is like if you're migrating pages using the using WordPress, that migrator is now way better. We also got full RBAC coverage for APIs in the template library. So if you don't know what RBAC stands for, that would be role-based access controls. and APIs are things that developers use. So if you don't know what that is, you can skip this one for your knowledge. App Marketplace got an agency app reselling configuration API. So if you want to configure your reselling with the API, you can now do that for at the agency level. WhatsApp also got a few here. We've got inbound location details for API and webhooks. So that's another one for the developers. We also got snippet attachments that now send correctly. So I think there was a little bit of a hiccup there where they weren't sending correctly. And then in a similar way, the replies now work for attachment messages. So should be good on replies if you're sending messages with attachments. And finally, the voice AI APIs now have new voice retrieval endpoints. So another one for the developers. It was a big week for them. Moving into labs, we've got at least one that went into the labs this week. And if you don't know how to get to labs, just go to your agency level, go to settings, and then go to labs. And you'll have a toggle there between agency and sub account. And you'll see these types of things there. Typically, most of these go to the sub account tab. And this one would be included in that. So we've got voice AI now has noise canceling and back channeling. This one's really interesting. And it was kind of funny to see this get presented at a town hall. And people were like, yeah, it's funny that the voice AI is so good that it speaks too perfectly, and therefore people don't think it's real or that it's human. Not that we want to trick people, but we want to have a more natural conversation, and I think those tend to go the best. So you've got control A for background noise and speech recognition. So basically, the bot won't get confused because it's canceling out like background noise and stuff like that. And then I think we can actually generate a little bit of background noise that is there. This one's just for filtering, but there is a setting coming up for that too. Now, back channeling is all the mistakes that we make. So the uhs, the ums, the gotcha, the things that would naturally get in the way of a fully formed sentence that you were to just write out. And so when you add these things like and it makes things sound a little bit more naturally, or it makes them sound more natural. And so you can adjust the frequency, and then you can even pick the words that it's using for the back channeling. So really cool implementation here, and love to see what people build with this to make bots even more effective, as if they weren't already pretty awesome. Next, we are going to get into the favorite part of the show, which is going to be a dab of upcoming releases. The first one that we've got for you here is video thumbnails and previews in media storage. So media storage is the renamed version of media library. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm standardizing it to media storage because that's what's on the left-hand side menu. Before, when there was a video, or I guess now, you're just going to see like a little icon that says this is a video, but you're not going to see a thumbnail or like what's the content of this video. So this release will enable that, as well as when you click to preview it, you can play the video right there in the media storage and decide if that's the one that you want to use or not. And the final update of the week, we have got coming soon more integrations. We got 50 new triggers and actions coming to workflows, as well as a very notorious feature request called the inbound DND trigger and action. So the idea here is that you would be able to set up it's a workflow. So you'd be able to set up an automation to DND or put somebody on do not disturb, which means that you don't want them receiving, you don't want to receive inbound calls from them, let's say, or you don't want to send them emails, stuff like that. The main use case, I think, is for the inbound call. So you get a spam call, and you can do this on mobile now, but we also want a way to just send it to a workflow and have that trigger off of a workflow to make it a little bit more easier for folks so that they don't get spam all the time or they don't have to like log into the desktop, stuff like that. So anyway, that is going to do it for us for the release radar of this week. Let me see if there are any comments that we should highlight here. When are we getting template marketplace? We already have a template marketplace. More coming there. We've got a big revamp there where you're going to be able to sell things, stuff like that. But stay tuned for that. I've already been working with the team to get some of those designs finalized, and I know that a lot of it is already in development. Let's see. Can you add live website editing with your team? That is a good question. I haven't seen anything around that. It's a good idea. So right now, if there are two people in the builder, it will show you their icons like at the top. But yeah, live edits would be interesting to see. We'll definitely be able to pass that along to the team. Uh, Forwarding emails. Not sure what your question is here, but you can set up forwarding like at the email domain level to like automatically forward emails. But if you want it within the conversations, and I don't think it's there quite yet, but I know that that is going to be in progress. We're also coming up with what could be a pretty big. We've talked about this before, but essentially like a Gmail Lite, not going to be Gmail, but it will be like an inbox that you can manage yourself or right within conversations. And that will kind of eliminate the need that of having like a separate G Suite or Google Workplace, whatever they're calling it now, subscription. I think the big challenge there on the product side is spam, right? That's the one thing that Gmail is really pretty good at is filtering out spam, and that's a pretty complex action. So the team is taking a good hard look at this, making sure it's something that we can implement and not like blow up everybody's inboxes because they're getting spammed left and right. So more to come on that. And Paul from Winnipeg, thanks for checking in, buddy. Hope everything's going well up there and that you are nice and warm. California is about to get a deluge of rain and 40-degree weather, so we'll be right in the thick of the coldness with you. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap it up for this week's Release Radar. Thanks so much for joining, and be sure to tell Chase that I did an awesome job, and wish him a safe journey on his way back from Thailand, where we've had lots of events and all kinds of fun stuff. So more to come on that, but we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.